In August 2021, Petty Officer Ben Shread found himself eye to eye with the Taliban. Now, a year on, he's recalling their brutality.
We were as far away from each other as we are now, so less than 2 meters away from each other. And at the beginning, when Kabul fell, I think there was quite a moderate version of the Taliban were there. But as the evacuation process went on, it became a more hard-line version of the Taliban there. They were treating the evacuees much worse. Sometimes they were beating them with rubber hoses and stuff like that. And the stories that some of the Afghans came through of the Taliban just breaking their hands and their feet, they let them through because they were, you know, an entitled personnel, but they didn't let them go through without giving them a last beating and putting them through, you know, that extra little bit of torment. Most iconic images that I took while we were out there.
When Ben deployed to Kabul, he was the only military photographer in theatre. His job? To capture on film the extraordinary evacuation of British citizens and eligible Afghans.
I'd say it's probably the highlight of my career, and I've had a lot of highlights in my career. Watching our men and women in action out there filled me full of pride, and it was great for me to be able to tell the stories of those guys out on the ground.
These are obviously 2 members of the parachute regiment. They look absolutely knackered.
Yes.
You know, what are you trying to convey in this image?
The paras did such a great job out there. They're not really built for sort of humanitarian work like that. I think it's their jobs to go in, kick doors down and get out of there again. And as you can see, they're young lads, you know, ranging from 18 to 25. And they've been put in this situation where they're dealing with a massive humanitarian crisis.
Images captured by Ben were circulated around the world and even used to help brief the most powerful man on the planet.
These images were used to actually brief by our Prime Minister to brief the President of America.
Photographing op pitting isn't the only major role Ben's held in his Royal Navy career. Before that, he found himself as the official photographer to not 1, but 2 Prime Ministers.
I was very lucky to be involved in some very high-profile jobs while I was there, G7 summit, G12 summit, and like Brexit, that's a once probably in a lifetime opportunity. Some of my images will come up if you Google, say, Brexit. I met Donald Trump while I was over there, and he has a lot of presence when he walks into a room. He's a very big guy, and I got to meet him personally, got my photograph taken with him.
Ben's gained plaudits for his work in Kabul, receiving a prestigious Royal Navy Award for photography. Today, he's passing on his experiences at the Defence School of Photography at RAF Cosford. Pushed on his favourite image from Kabul, the petty officer said so many mean so much. But there is one that stands out.
It's just 2 6-year-old girls, and they turned up in party dresses, matching handbags, matching sunglasses, and it was just almost like a ray of sunshine in the middle of all that dirt and destruction. And I had the privilege of taking these girls and their family from out in that dirt and destruction all the way through the process and then onto the plane, and I was doing up their seatbelt on the aeroplane, and then you know, big tough serviceman, I'll freely admit that I was just in floods of tears when that plane took off, and I knew that they were going to be safe in a safer place and avoid the persecution that they had been fleeing from. You know, like I say, tears streaming down my face because I knew they were off to a better life.
Ben's deployment to Kabul may have been his last. At the age of 44, he's weighing up a life outside the armed forces. But it will be his skills behind the lens, images that have been seen by millions of people worldwide, that will serve as a legacy for an impressive career as one of the Royal Navy's best photographers. James Wharton, Forces News, Cosford.
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel.